Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanderson. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Thursday, September 1st slate of MLB action. I'm super excited to dive into it. I'm so glad that it's going to be a new month. Man, you guys have no idea. If you guys have stuck around the channel here for this long, I do appreciate it, seriously, and all the new subscribers that we are gaining each and every day. Thank you guys so much for all of that. But man, it's been a rough month. So hopefully we can just forget about that one, move on to September, and we can go ahead and pick up right where we left off, because we actually had a pretty decent day yesterday, and we'll talk about it here in just a minute. But before we did dive into it, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. We are less than 200 subscribers away from that 7,000 mark, and if we can hit that by the time that the NBA season starts, then I will be doing a pretty decent giveaway. So make sure that you guys are subbed. And also, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, so much more than you guys will ever know. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. But before we do, I did just want to get a quick word here from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by PrizePicks. If you guys don't currently have a sports book that you do use, or if you do have one and you're just looking for something new, PrizePicks is a great way to get started. As you guys can see here on the screen, we are able to bet on pretty much every single sport that you can think of. We have MLB, we have the NFL, as of right now is the preseason, we have college football, we even have things like CSGO and some esports as well. And obviously, as you guys know, I'm a huge NBA guy, so once the NBA season does come around, you guys will be able to bet on player props from there as well. PrizePicks is very, very easy to use. I do love the no-run first innings, and that is something that you can go ahead and bet on here on PrizePicks as well. It's an absolutely fantastic app and website as well. So if you guys haven't already signed up for PrizePicks, make sure that you guys do that and use code KingSanders, and you can go ahead and get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. So the way that it does work is you go ahead and pick a couple here. So I'm just going to, for the sake of the video, say that the White Sox and the Orioles tomorrow are going to have a no-run first inning. The Toronto and Boston and the Cincinnati and Philadelphia are all going to have no-run first inning. Basically, what I would do, I would go ahead and click less for all of these and do what is called a power play, which is basically the same as a parlay. All three legs do have to hit in order for the bet to actually cash out. On the flip side of things, you can also do a flex play. The flex play basically means if you do get one of the legs wrong, that's perfectly fine. You can still win some money. So PrizePicks is a great way to be able to win some money using player props and things of that nature to be able to win some money. So you can put together a bunch of different legs to win out some pretty big money. So once again, make sure you guys do use code KingSanders for whenever you do sign up. You will get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. And once again, thank you so much, PrizePicks, for sponsoring today's video. All right, so we are back. So we ended up having a pretty decent day overall yesterday. We literally almost brought out the sweep. So Logan, if you are watching this, brought up, putting some plates on, doing some reps on camera. I totally would have, but we barely missed out on the sweep. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So our first play that we had was the Cardinals' first 5 team total over 2.5 versus Cincinnati. That was the only play that didn't hit. The Cardinals, at the time of recording this, they're going into the 11th inning, and the score is still 2-2. Both those 2 runs were scored in the, I believe it was like the 4th inning or something like that. I know Goldschmidt was on base and Arenado hit a home run, so they ended up right at 2, and neither team has scored a run since then. So, but they ended up having 2.5, or they ended up right at 2, so missing it right on the hook. Wow. Then we did have Boston and Minnesota over 8 runs. This one truly wasn't too much of a sweat. They definitely made it interesting because they started off really hot. They scored like 7 runs in the first 3 innings, and then they were eventually able to hit the over in the 7th. So, but overall, that one did end up working out for us. Then we did have Baltimore plus a half in the first 5 versus Cleveland at minus 105, and that one ended up working out. They took control of the game pretty early. They went up 2 or 3 throughout the first 5, and then just carried the momentum all the way through and won the game. So I wanted to go with the full 5, but it just seemed like there was a little bit something behind it. So I didn't, but it is what it is. We ended up going 2-1 on our plays. So let's go ahead and see if we can duplicate that once again with today. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Our first play of the day, we're going to be taking Seattle and Detroit under 4 runs in the first 5 innings at minus 125 odds. Now, I do like this one at 4.5. It was just a little bit too juiced for me. I think it was set to around like minus 140. So I went with the under 4. You can get this value on FanDuel and a couple other sports books as well. But I do like this one. And so this does have push potential as well, of course, so I do like that as well. But when it comes to the stats, Detroit, 29th in first 5 inning runs per game. They are definitely not a good offense whatsoever. Seattle, they're 18th when it comes to first 5 inning runs per game. So definitely a much better offense here than Detroit. I have nothing to worry about with Detroit, but I don't think that Seattle is going to be able to score 5 runs on their own in those first 5 innings. Definitely, could they? Absolutely, no question about it, but I don't think that that's going to happen today. Seattle is also 7th when it comes to first 5 inning runs allowed, so like I said, not worried about Detroit scoring whatsoever. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Logan Gilbert's going to be on the mound here for Seattle. Once again, a very solid pitcher, very capable for sure. 3.49 ERA, 3.15 on the road, and 2, 2, and 3 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. Logan Gilbert's been a beast, absolutely, absolutely no issue with him. I don't think that he'll have any issue keeping this Tigers team in the low runs. I don't think there will really be anything. But I really do like the pitcher here for Detroit as well. We have Eduardo Rodriguez for Detroit, 3.6 ERA, so definitely nothing crazy, but he's a much, much better pitcher at home, 2.84 ERA at home so far this year, and a 1.82 in his last 5. He's actually been very, very solid, and if you look at his earned run log, he has an earned run log of 1, 0, 3, 0, and 1. So if that streak does continue, he's bound for another really good day. So hopefully we can go ahead and cash this one. That is going to be our first play of the day. Seattle and Detroit under 4 in the first 5. At minus 125 odds. Now for our second play of the day, the play that to me just does not make sense. We're taking the Athletics money line here versus Washington at plus 100 odds. Now the reason that it doesn't make sense is going to be right towards the end of this segment, and we'll kind of get into it just a little bit. If you take a look, Oakland's the better team when it comes to like in this specific position. So Oakland is 27 and 38 to the road money line. So definitely pretty solid, but nothing too crazy. Both these teams are not good. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Somebody has to win this game. Washington 20 and 47 at home. I think that Washington's a worse home team than Oakland is on the road, is what I'm trying to say. Washington is 26th when it comes to runs per game. Oakland is 29th, so Washington is technically a better defense. Washington is also 29th when it comes to runs allowed, and that number even drops even more when they are at home. Oakland is 22nd, so technically Oakland does have the better defense, but this is why it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We do have Paulo Espino here for Washington, 4.35 ERA. He has been pretty decent here, though, recently. 3, 3, 4, and 1 earned runs in each of his last 4 starts. So it's not like he's been a terrible pitcher. But on the flip side of the mound, for the Athletics, a guy making his MLB debut. Yes. So if you were to be blindly betting this, odds are a lot of you guys are going to be fading the Athletics, and rightfully so. I mean, there's a pitcher that's going to be on the mound that's never pitched in the majors before. So I think that a lot of people are going to be blind betting against this guy, and I think that's where it's going to get a lot of people. So also, Oakland does have 19th in bullpen ERA, Washington 21st. Both these teams are very, very similar when it comes to that regard. So I'm going to be taking the Athletics. I think that this is a pretty decent spot for them, a little bit better on the road than they are at home. And Washington's a much worse home team going up against a pitcher who's never pitched before. So hopefully it can end up working out for us, but that, to me, that line just doesn't make sense. So that is going to be our second play of the day, Athletics money line versus Washington, plus 100 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, this would normally be one that didn't hit yesterday, but the plays that didn't hit yesterday were, like if you look at them today, they're all like super juice, like minus 140s, minus 150s, or you're getting like plus 110, not plus 110, like plus 120, plus 130. I'm just not laying that sort of juice on any plays. So we're going to be taking this one. Rangers plus 1.5 here versus Boston at minus 135 odds. I'm truly sick of seeing Texas here, but I think that this is another good spot for him. Boston, first things first, they're a home favorite. You gotta fade that. Truthfully, they're 16-22 as a home favorite to the run line so far this year. Texas is 33-13 to the road run line as an underdog this year. They are one of the best teams in the MLB as a road underdog to the run line. So this is a really good spot to target here for Texas. Texas is also ninth when it comes to runs per game, and that number does go up by 0.63 on the road. So they are a significantly better team when it comes to hitting the ball on the road. And Boston, they are 11th. So it's not like they're a bad offense by any stretch of the imagination, but Texas is surprisingly better. Texas also is 21st when it comes to runs allowed. That number drops by 0.79 on the road. So they are a much better defense on the road too. So Texas really gets a lot of work done here on the road. Boston is also 25th when it comes to runs allowed. That number jumps up to by 0.62 at home. So they're a much worse defense at home. So I think that this is a really good spot to target. Also, Glenn Otto is going to be on the mound here for Texas. I know, not a great name, not a household name, but he does have a 4.79 ERA over the course of the season. 3.53 on the road, and a 2.93 in his last 5 starts. So he has actually been pretty decent here in his last 5 starts. Hopefully he can carry that momentum over. And Rich Hill's going to be on the mound here for Boston. 4.32 ERA, 4.94 in his last 5, so he has started the trend in the wrong direction here. Hopefully we can see some more of that negative regression as well. Boston is 27th when it comes to bullpen ERA, so almost dead last when it comes to bullpen ERA. Texas in the 11th spot. So hopefully it ends up working out for us. That's going to be our third and final play of the day. Rangers plus 1.5 here versus Boston at minus 135 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. We are less than 200 away at the time of recording this video. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Sander signing out. Peace.